basically, by reducing the inflammation, the MSM is going to help to soothe your scalp and support your healthy hair. Hey baddies, welcome to Hairscripts. It's your girl Bevy. And before we get into today's video, which is all about MSM and whether or not it's good for your hair, whether I approve, whether I put my stamp of approval, whether that even matters to you, I just gotta give a quick little intro. I don't plan to do this for every video, so bear with me. I just have to because there's a lot of new people on here, a lot of new people that come through. And, I've been lurking in my comments and seeing that some of y'all are like, well, who is you? Who is you? I know what I said. Who is you to be like giving us a hodgepodge? Specifically, I heard that, and I quote, of information like da-da-da-da-da. All right, so let me do this real quick, okay? For those of you who don't know, I have almost a decade of experience in the healthcare and pharmaceutical industries. My job was to learn everything, to know everything about the clinical studies behind products, ingredients, etc. Okay, so I had to decode clinical studies and all that science jargon and the pharmacodynamics and the mechanism of action and all that scientific clinical stuff and bring it down into simplest terms, okay, for my clients. So that was basically what I did, is what I does, and at the end of the day, this is what I do. And so I'm bringing this to y'all because I want y'all to know if whatever you're doing for your hair growth journey is actually working, or if you're just going to sit there and believe the hype, okay? Because if you just want to believe the hype, then this ain't the place for you. So I might be crushing some feelings, not on purpose, all in love, because at the end of the day, we really want to grow our hair using proven strategies on this channel, okay? So this is what this channel is about. Now, I sprinkle in some skin stuff. Although a lot of people have been asking about some skin stuff because, she's doing pretty well in that department. Was not always. So I will start doing some skin stuff. And, some feminine health and a little bit of this and a little bit of that because I had dealt with a whole bunch of hormonal issues and still am. And just a whole bunch of other issues that caused the hair loss in the first place, right? So we're not just going to talk about growing or regrowing your hair topically here. We're going to talk about the inside out, the inner woman, okay, or man. We're going to talk about all of that and how to heal yourself internally so that you can grow your hair externally and healthy. And then the last thing I'm going to say real quick, because I have heard this before, that I'm just giving all this advice. I always say, well, I've always said, but I didn't think nobody was going to watch these videos. I'm like, what just happened, right? Like, I just be talking, not thinking that anybody's listening. And now y'all listening, so I got to be more mindful of what I say. So the other thing is, my number one recommendation for all things, if you watch any video that I have on here, especially the first few videos, is to go see a dermatologist, right? Always go see a dermatologist, go see a specialist so that you can diagnose what is your hair loss concern. Like, at the end of the day, nothing is going to work for you, sis. Nothing is going to work. And if it does work temporarily, it will stop working eventually, right? If the internal underlying issue associated with your hair loss is not dealt with, okay? So hair loss is typically a symptom of some type of underlying condition. And if that underlying issue, even if it's just a quick issue like, stress, stress, and we're not gonna minimize stress, okay? But even if it's something that like it's a nutrient deficiency, if you're low in iron, it doesn't have to be something, like an autoimmune or God forbid cancer or something of that extent. I mean, even uterine fibroids, which someone has asked me to talk about, I will talk about that soon. The hair loss could just be an inflammatory response to something else that you guys got going on. So I will always tell you, first and foremost, okay, please, before you do anything I tell you to do, before you follow anything, please go consult with your doctor. Make sure that internally you're healthy, because you could do a lot of stuff that's just not going to work for you if your body is attacking itself, or you're dealing with inflammation that your hair is just not going to be able to fend that off. And some oils and some rub downs and some, marinades and whatever else we do is not going to work for you. Poking yourself or whatever type of science is not going to work for you if the underlying condition is not dealt with. Okay. So I'm sorry. I typically like to just hit it and I'm trying to hit it and quit it a lot more often. Get to the point, talk about the stuff that y'all want to hear, that y'all here for, that y'all clicked on this video for. But I had to give y'all that. So by all means, go see a dermatologist. So a dermatologist can do a scalp evaluation. They can diagnose your problem, really give you a full diagnosis of what's going on, and then cater or build a hair growth plan specific to you. Okay. And if you need a place to start, please check the link down below. Go to thehairscripts.com, honey. If you don't know where to start, how to do this, oh my gosh, I'm just going crazy. Bada bing, bada boom. I got you. I know there's a lot of moving parts to this. Hair growth and hair loss is multifactorial. There is so many moving parts, and it's just not a one size fit all, sis. That's why I got a ton of videos already and a whole much more coming up so that I can help you find, we all Goldilocks out here, okay? It's too big, it's too small. Wait, hold on. Is that Goldilocks?
Huh?
Okay, whatever. I'm trying to help you find, your fit. So all of that to say, why am I just so, regular schmegler out in these streets and I sound so hood? Because I don't feel like I'm not code switching over here. Like, this is my platform, okay? Well, not YouTube, but this is my channel. So I'm going to be me, all right? So I'm going to take all that clinical stuff and put it in the blender and make it easy, digestible, and consumable for all of us. And just get to the point of what y'all here to hear. All right, so that's that on that. Let's go into the video. Let's talk about MSM for hair growth. So now that I'm getting a lot more eyeballs on my stuff, geez, thank you guys. Now that I'm getting a lot of more eyeballs on my stuff, I'm starting to get a lot of questions. So I'm not going to just ignore y'all questions. I'm trying to get to them as quickly as as my little fingers and my thumbs can. But there's some things that I decided that I'm just going to answer in video form because I think I'm getting a lot of questions about certain topics that I feel like, you know what, let me make a video to answer everyone. And then I think I'm going to start doing some other stuff where I'm answering your questions in video form, like in quick little 60-second short forms instead of, just, typing it out, because I'm sure other people have the same question you had that you were bold enough to ask and they weren't. Okay. So let's just move on. So we're here to talk about methylsulfonomethane, okay, aka MSM, okay. I've had several questions about MSM and whether or not I think it's good for hair growth, hair loss. So let me just make something very clear. Hair loss and hair growth is not interchangeable. We're not going to do that over here, okay. I'll pop you in the hand, sis, because hair growth is hair growth, okay? Hair loss is if your hair is shedding, breaking, is falling out, is thinning, is all kinds of stuff. You can stop hair loss but not grow your hair, and you can also grow your hair while your hair is falling out. So the goal here on this channel is if you're dealing with hair loss, okay? If you're shedding, if you're breaking, if you're thinning all over, you have alopecia of any form, and God forbid, it just goes on and on and on what's going on with your hair. You're here to stop that or to reverse that, okay? That's what you're here to do, okay? But now once that's stopped, all it means is that you put a plug on the thing. It's like, think about a bathtub. You just plug the hole or whatever, right? So now you can have a bath, right? But if you don't pour water into the bath, sis, you just sitting in a tub with a plugged hole. Know what I mean? So now we're going to stop the hair loss or reverse it. So plug the hole, and now we're going to add the water, the life, okay? The river, the living word. Know what I mean? To that, and now we're gonna have us a nice little bath, okay? That's the analogy, okay? Follow me. So, hey baddies, it's your girl Bevy with Hairscripts, and I have some great news. If you are experiencing hair loss, meaning it's shedding, it's thinning, you have bald spots, it's breaking, you don't know what the problem is and you don't know how to treat it and how to fix it, do me a favor and go to thehairscripts.com. Go to our website, the link is down below, and use our scalp evaluation tool where you can upload up to 6 photos of your scalp and your problem area. And one of our Hairscripts hair loss experts will get back to you, not only with the full evaluation, but a treatment plan on how you can personally regrow your hair back based on your hair growth concerns. But that's not all. You'll also get product recommendations that are going to be better for you and not for your neighbor. Okay, so personalized hair care, girl, that's where it's at. And if that's not good and that's not reason enough for you to go, it's free, okay? Don't say I didn't tell you. Bye. MSM, okay, is a sulfur-rich compound, okay? It's found in plants. and it's found in humans, etc. Bottom line, yes, it's natural. MSM is a natural form of sulfur, okay? It's a sulfur chemical. So let me make something very clear. I want to stop right there and talk about sulfur, okay? Sulfur is very potent and very important with hair growth. If those of you who remember Madam C.J. Walker, but if you're a little younger and you watch the movie on Netflix, okay, I can't remember the name. Somebody dropped the name in the comment. You notice that her hair growth formula, whatever it was called, excuse me. I don't know if it was a pomade or if it was a ointment, whatever. I can't remember. But her hair growth formula was sulfur rich. Okay, now sulfur we know does not smell great. It does not have a good. It's not pleasant.
What is that smell?
But the reason why it works so much is because the sulfur compound itself is really good for basically repairing the bonds of your hair. So it's good for strengthening your hair, building collagen, and just really boosting that thickness, okay, and that hair repair that you need. So sulfur is really good, especially if you want to retain your hair. So that's basically the gist of MSM as far as the sulfur. Now you'll find sulfur in other things like onion juice, right? So sulfur within itself is a phytonutrient, aka a micronutrient, something that is a chemical derivative of the onion juice, okay? So the onion juice within itself is not the magic, it's the phytonutrients and it's the chemicals that are found. So as you break it down, you peel back the onion, no pun, a lot more, you'll realize that there's smaller chemicals within these whole foods, within these natural plants and chemicals and substances that actually works. Okay, so now MSM is mainly commonly used for things like tendinitis, osteoporosis, muscle cramps, etc. Joint inflammation. So why is that? Because it's an anti-inflammatory. There's a crap ton of studies out there about MSM and its effects on inflammation in general. So now if we talk about inflammation, right? Let's start with inflammation really quickly. MSM is an anti-inflammatory and it has antioxidant properties, and it's really good because we know that inflammation or hair loss within itself is an inflammatory response. So if you want to mitigate inflammation, you need an anti-inflammatory. So if they're using it for osteoporosis and arthritis and all these muscle joints and these tendinitis and all these inflammatory problems, imagine what it can do for the inflammation on your scalp. Imagine what it could do for your internal inflammation, basically in general, okay? Internal inflammation to help your hair follicle. Now, is there a direct correlation with MSM and hair growth? Stay tuned, we'll talk about that, okay? So we're just talking about how it could potentially help your hair or help your hair growth, okay? So I'm gonna look at my notes a little bit because I wanna make sure I don't go off, okay? So basically, by reducing the inflammation, the MSM is going to help to soothe your scalp and support your healthy hair. Like I said before, it's an essentially organic sulfur. So I know it seems like it's a chemical, but it's a natural chemical found in certain plants, okay? So now what it does is it also encourages the formation of keratin to contribute to stronger hair. So for those of us who don't know, hair is protein, sis. It's protein. It is protein. That's why you hear me talk in my other videos somewhere in the description box or anywhere on this video about protein for hair growth. Why you want to keep giving your hair protein? Because it needs more of what it needs. It's like, we're together. I'm protein. I'm looking for my kind. I'm looking for my rib, honey. And that is what protein does, okay? So that's why you want to feed more protein to your hair. There's so many different sources of protein, whether you're eating it from food, whether you're getting it topically, that is why, right? So it's going to help to encourage that formation of protein. So before we even go into all of that, right, I just want to make sure that I stay, because y'all know I could get lost, okay? I could get lost in the sauce. So let me stay with my outline, okay? So before we talk about how much MSM, because there's a certain amount of MSM that you should or could not use for hair growth, because, okay, sometimes we just be sprinkling a dash and listen, while I'm all for letting the ancestors help you cook, okay, in the kitchen, with some of these chemicals and some of these compounds and some of these things that we're trying to use so that we can regrow our hair, there is a certain amount, there is a concentration there is a happy place that you should be using, right? You can go above that concentration and then you start messing with the safety of that product for you, or you can go below and then there's no efficacy, right? Meaning it's not effective because you're not using enough. So we want to make sure that we're within our means, okay? So basically there was a peer-reviewed double-blind study for the Natural Medicine Journal where researchers examined, the efficacy, meaning how effective MSM is, okay? Basically, let me just tell you what the findings just showed. It showed that MSM was basically able to improve the appearance of hair and nails and skin, okay? There's two ways that you can take MSM. You could take MSM topically, meaning the powder form, right? That we all know about, that there's other videos up here on these screens about using the powder. And then there's the oral supplementation. So now here's the difference. If you take the powder, you're literally addressing the issue topically. Meaning, if you want to just address the inflammation on your scalp, you're going to take the powder and you're going to put the powder on your scalp. If you want to address the inflammation that you're dealing with internally, you're going to take it orally and you're going to deal with the inflammation throughout your entire body that's affecting your scalp. Now, how would you know that? Well, Bevy, how would I know? Like, I don't know if I just got inflammation on my scalp or if I'm dealing with deeper inflammation within my body. First and foremost, go see a doctor, sis. Go see a doctor. I'm not going to tell you whether you should do this or that or whether you should take it at all. But what I will say is you can check out the Hairscripts.com link down below to just kind of give you a quick little idea right now if you just want to know while you're scheduling that appointment. All right, so let's talk about it topically real quick, okay? So the suggested topical concentration is 10%. 10%, sis. Because the study that was done, the study that showed its effectiveness on hair growth was within the range of 1 to 10%. And the higher the percentage, obviously, the more the growth opportunity. So what you don't want to do is just sprinkle some powder from the thing. You want to use 10%, okay? Now 10%, how does that look? Now, let's talk about how does that look. 10% is going to be about 10 grams of MSM powder. Don't ask me to do the math. Math is not my thing. It's never been. I don't even know how I even got here, but go on Google, and if you have a measuring cup or spoons, you go ahead and put 10 grams equals what in cups and spoons. So you know how many spoons you need to, you know what? Let me do that for y'all because y'all not going to be sitting here telling me I'm not doing it for y'all. So 10 grams, okay, let's go to cups. So to spoons, let's do spoons. Let's see. It shouldn't be that much, okay? 10 grams to spoon, okay. 10 grams equals 2.39 teaspoons. So round down about 2 teaspoons, okay? There we go. All right, I did it. Y'all not gonna tell me I'm not doing this, my math up in here, okay? So you're gonna use about 2 teaspoons of MSM. So really quickly, I'm gonna give y'all a quick little a topical MSM recipe that is scientifically proven, that is proven to help you regrow your hair. But I'm gonna throw a little jazz in that too. Now there is another study, okay, that shows MSM used with vitamin C, okay? There's a derivative of vitamin C that was used with MSM. And what MSM did was all the benefits that you guys know about vitamin C, the antioxidant benefits, and even the hair growth benefits. Vitamin C is really good for my alopecia girls out there. MSM, it helps to penetrate that vitamin C even deeper, okay? So you want to take your vitamin C. Now, we're talking topically. Now, where do you get topical vitamin C? Get a vitamin C serum that you put on your face. You're putting it on your scalp, sis. It's doing the same thing. Your scalp is skin, okay? Don't say I ain't tell you so. If you got vitamin C serum that you use on your face, or if you don't, but you want to go out and get some vitamin C serum for your face, go get some vitamin C serum for your face and put that bad boy in your scalp. You're going to start to see some growth. I just threw in a little tip, a little extra bonus tip. But now you mix that vitamin C serum with the MSM. Maybe, baby, okay? Now, before some of y'all come for me in the comments, but please do. It boosts my engagement, so I always welcome all comments. Before y'all come for me in the comments, wow, did she try this herself? No, not yet. I'm doing the research. I've done the research to answer the question. I looked at the studies, and I pretty much Listen, I consumed all of this for y'all so that I can share this information. But it's so good, this research, that yes, I'm about to try this. I'm about to do it because it is like, yo, real quick. Now, real quick, I hear somebody say, I don't know why I said that, but I hear somebody say, but is this stuff safe? Actually, it is safe. It's FDA, according to the FDA, it's considered a safe substance. Obviously, as long as you use it within the concentrations that's safe for humans and animals, you're fine. And then the other thing is any side effects that you'll have are going to be mild. So they're going to be mild side effects like maybe gastrointestinal side effects, so a little bit of GI issues. Now, this obviously is going to exacerbate any current GI issues that you have. So if you're already dealing with IBS, if you're already dealing with some GERD, any other type of gastrointestinal, aka stomach, gut issues, it's not going to help that, right? So let's get our gut health together, because gut health, and that could be another video, y'all, is within itself is fully responsible for your hair health and your follicular health, your follicles, because your follicles eat from your stomach, okay? Your stomach feeds your follicles. That's how that works. And obviously, if your gut health ain't right, your hair, okay, that's another video. We gonna stick to, I tell y'all, I'm trying to stick to my notes because I'm trying to stick to but I'm gonna give y'all all right, it's coming. I hear it, it's coming. But it is safe, okay? So it's safe and it's powerful and it's effective, okay? So here we go. You're going to do 10 grams, aka 2 teaspoons. Now for my nurses out there or whoever else, if my conversions were off, please put the right conversions down. I'll pin you because, you know, that's not my strong. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a nurse. I'm not a medical provider. However, with the Hairscripts, which is the brand and the company that I am trying to build and grow for all of you women out there who are losing your hair and trying to effectively grow your hair, and you're tired of slathering mayonnaise and ketchup, you know, and mustard on your hair and you're not getting no results. That's what that's for, okay? So go check it out, you know, because once I roll out, I'm not playing. Y'all, some of y'all gonna get left behind. Don't say I ain't tell you, don't say I ain't warn you. But I do have medical providers on my staff, so if I don't have the answers to anything, best believe I am checking in with the medical providers on my staff, and real soon I will introduce people so that y'all know I'm not just out here in these YouTube streets just talking out my behind, you know. Anyway, so here's the recipe. You're gonna do 10 grams or 2 teaspoons of MSM powder. If you feeling a little extra, 3 teaspoons. You're gonna do 15 grams of aloe vera juice. I already told you how to convert now, so we're not doing this. Go on Google and convert. They make life easier for everybody. So 15 grams of aloe vera juice. Now, aloe vera, why? Because aloe vera is an antibacterial, it's an antimicrobial. It's good for balancing the pH on your scalp and making sure that your scalp environment is conducive for what life is going to throw at it. Now, if you don't know, I'm trying to tell y'all, you want a healthy pH all over your body, okay? If you know what it's like for your pH to be off in other places, you're going to understand why you want your pH to be on everywhere, okay? So aloe vera is just going to help to create a conducive scalp, okay, for treatment. And it's just going to make sure that it just mitigates any further risk of anything. And then 75 grams of water, because we just want to make sure we have the right ratios, the right concentrations for the best optimal results. And then, like I said, you're going to take that vitamin C and you're going to sprinkle that vitamin C in there, okay? Now, use the suggested dose for your face on your scalp, because your scalp, believe it or not, is actually a little bit more sensitive than your face. But don't say I ain't tell you, okay? Because now that MSM is going to boost that vitamin C, that's just amazing. Now, if some of y'all are already doing a whole bunch of other topical stuff, feel free to add this to whatever other topical stuff you already got going on, because you don't have to have 10 different topical treatments going on at different times, okay? So you're basically going to pour it into, whether you want to pour it into the spray bottle or if you have a dropper bottle, and you're basically going to spray this directly onto your scalp and leave it overnight once a day for up to a month, okay? This is, and you can do beyond that, but some of y'all who like to ask, well, if I'm going to do this, do I have to do this for the rest of my life? Or let me answer that right now, okay? First things first is anything that you do, first is a lifestyle change. The first step is to change your actual lifestyle. And I always hear these comments about minoxidil. Well, minoxidil is trash because after you stop using it, all your hair falls out. Here's the problem. If you're using minoxidil, but you still have the underlying condition, if you're using anything, right, and you still have an underlying condition, remember I just described the distinction between hair loss and hair growth. If you have the problem that's causing the hair loss in the first place, sis, yes, when you stop aiding and abetting it, it's going to continue to fall out. If not, it might fall out with a vengeance because you really never treated the underlying problem. The goal here is to treat the underlying problem, okay? Get our nutrition up, get our health up, okay? Get all that stuff up. Be where we need to be. Treat whatever underlying conditions we have. Then we can start to do this stuff. Now you stop using minoxidil. No, your hair will not be falling out like that at the bit. It's just not. It's just going to help hair growth. And plus certain things you don't have to do forever. Okay. It's transient. Okay. So now as far as those of us, now let's go into oral. Those of us who realize that we may be going through some type of systemic problem, meaning it's internal, it's not just you don't just have a little bit of inflammation on your scalp, you're dealing with internal inflammation. Maybe you have arthritis, maybe you have this, maybe you have that. Listen, here's going to be the daily dosage. Okay. Now there are some MSM supplements already out there. I have not tried I have not tried them yet. So I'm not going to recommend one. Okay. Now for those of you who come for me because my description boxes be trash, let me just stop and tell you, I am sorry. Please forgive me. I do realize that my description boxes have been trash and I am working on improving that. And I will tell you why. And it's no excuse. But can we be honest? Like, I just didn't think nobody was really going to be checking for my stuff like that. Like, this came overnight. For real, y'all. Like, I'm thanking God every day. I'm like, God, word. But now you got me exposed out here in these streets because people thinking that I don't care. I do care. And my goal is to go through all these description boxes and fill them up. Okay, but give me some time, y'all. I got mad kids and all life and everything. But I'm coming. This is not going to be a problem anymore. Okay, you will not see this problem from me anymore. But anyway, so back to the point. No, I'm not going to recommend any MSM, so don't look for it in the description box because I haven't used it. I do not like to recommend stuff that I have not used. Now, I could do some more research on what is the best thing out there, or I can speak to a few people, but again, I have not used it, okay? So go online, do some reviews about MSM if you're looking for oral MSM. Again, before you take anything orally, please check with your doctor. But if you're gonna go with oral MSM, we're talking about 4 grams orally per day. That's fine. Like I said, the known side effects are very mild, like nausea, some GI issues. And of course, if you have sensitive skin, by the way, topically, it might irritate your skin. It is what it is, right? Toilet paper, we have to use it and it may irritate your skin. Some women use pads and tampons and it may irritate their skin, and others it doesn't. So you just have to try certain things out for yourself through process of elimination and see what's best for you. So basically, MSM, as food and all that stuff, natural sources, and I'll put it out there. With MSM, unlike biotin, and if you watch my last biotin video, you can literally get enough biotin just from eating the right foods every day. But there's a lot of other vitamins and nutrients that we need that unfortunately we don't eat enough food in a day to give us that much, okay? So I'll give you some MSM rich foods that you can start to add to your diet, but it's not going to be enough, okay? So there's the coffee, there's tea, there's milk, tomatoes, alfalfa sprouts, leafy greens. You can't go wrong with spinach. Spinach has everything. Spinach and kale are the gold. Just do that. Apples, raspberries, and whole grains. And of course with MSM, or not of course, you don't know, because it's a chemical, it's a certain chemical compound that when cooked it dies. So you don't want to cook it. So you want to eat these foods pretty raw. I think you can't go wrong with spinach, y'all. But again, it's not going to be enough intake of MSM, so you would need an MSM supplement or the powder topically. So listen, for the most part, what I can say is there's a lot of information. There's a lot of clinical data. And listen, I read a lot of clinical stuff, and I didn't want to go too deep in this clinical and this. Just know that in every clinical study, it shows that MSM has been proven to reduce inflammation, to help to increase your hair density, right? Because of that reduced inflammation. And it's just helping you overall with your hair growth because it's somewhat kicking you into that anagen phase. If you know about the anagen phase, like I mentioned before, there's 3 phases to the hair growth cycle. There's the anagen, the catagen, and the telogen. Anagen is the hair growth phase. That's the phase that's activated the most when you're pregnant. So after you have them babies, you drop them babies, we have that luxurious, lustrous, thick, beautiful, long hair. That's because we've been in anagen phase our whole pregnancy. And then we kind of just catapult into telogen, which is that shedding phase, and it's excessive shedding because pregnancy takes a lot. It puts a lot of stress and strain on our body. But catagen is just the resting phase where it's neither growing or falling. It's just chilling. She's not going nowhere. She's just squatting on your scalp until further notice, right? And then she transitions, and all the follicles in our hair, on our head and our scalp they're not all at the same phase at the same time. That's why you're not shedding your whole head at the same time, right? So basically MSM is really good for doing that. As far as stimulating the anagen phase, but MSM and vitamin C together, that's the tea, right? That's where the growth is really happening. And so I'm gonna list down the type of vitamin C because it's a specific type. And I'm just trying to, let me see if I can get it. Let me see my notes if I can get the type of vitamin C, which is obviously the ones that's found in your skin medication. Okay, I don't know where my notes are. Hold on. Of course, when I record the video, that's when I don't see my notes. But y'all, magnesium absorbable. Hold on, magnesium absorbable. I'll tell you right now. Magnesium absorbable phosphate. Magnesium absorbable phosphate. So Google that. It's basically a derivative of vitamin C. And it is really good for alopecia patients. The combination of vitamin C or magnesium absorbable phosphate, aka vitamin C, with the MSM is just, it has a lot of great effects. Now, for those of my girls who are like, listen, this just sounds too etchy sketchy. There's too much MSM, there's this, there's that. I don't just want to take all this stuff. First of all, most of your foods and your nutrients are going to carry all of these things internally. If you don't know, I have a video somewhere, but it's one of my best performing videos about the best vitamins or the best supplements to take for hair growth. Go watch that video because I'm just now breaking down everything individually. It doesn't mean that now you have to have a different supplement for each thing, right? There is one supplement that will have all of these things in it. There are vitamins and there are one-a-days and prenatals that have all of this stuff in it, okay? So please do me a favor, sis. Go watch that video for those of you who are already feeling like your head is blown and it's too much and I can't just be doing all them different things. You shouldn't. I don't recommend it, right? I'm not taking 20, 30 different pills. And that's just not how that's gonna be. So take the stuff that's the most optimal for your hair growth that has everything that you want and need in it. Okay? Don't say I ain't tell you. But the other thing is, there's some of y'all who are more natural that if it don't sound like something that you could pronounce, you don't want to use it. And I respect that. And so for you girls, I got something, right? Of course, I mentioned onion juice earlier. Yes, it does work, right? So by all means, onion juice is amazing. This is not an onion juice video. If you want me to do an onion juice video, please comment down below and I'll do an onion juice video. I'm trying to get a little more creative for y'all. I know I sit here and I talk and it might be the laziness in me, but I want to get up and start showing y'all how to do certain things. So let me know if you want me to start giving y'all demonstrations and showing y'all how to actually do things instead of just talking, okay? Because like I said, you know, I'm more than a talking head, y'all. I actually do have a lower body. I actually do have a lower body and I can walk and I can do things and show y'all exactly certain things if y'all want to see it. So comment down below, let me know. And then the other thing is, so I said onion juice. And then obviously for those of you who are looking for an anti-inflammatory that is all natural, there's turmeric, okay? Now turmeric, just like MSM, can be used topically in powder form or it can be taken orally. The only thing I will tell you if you're taking turmeric is that it is a natural blood thinner. Check with your doctor first, because if you're already on blood thinners, you do not want to take turmeric, okay? But turmeric, it is nature's natural anti-inflammatory. There are a million ways to take turmeric. Let me see if I can give you one quick way to take turmeric. It is basically a hair growth supercharger. It is amazing for hair growth. And if you guys want a video specific to turmeric, please let me know, okay? Because turmeric within itself, is really good for hair growth as well. And the reason why it's good for hair growth as well is because it has the same anti-inflammatory properties that MSM have. Now, if you want me to be honest, the difference between MSM and turmeric, MSM has more benefits for hair growth because there's more. So the mechanism of action, basically the way that it works with MSM, it has more ways than working than one. Turmeric works mainly because it's anti-inflammatory. MSM works because it's an anti-inflammatory and also because it's, it helps things to penetrate deeper, meaning it helps absorption to be even better with vitamin C's. And then of course, because it's a sulfur compound, and then it helps to strengthen the bond. So MSM is good for hair growth, but also for hair like texture, right? So I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I'm talking to my girls who, like, if you can't name it, you won't claim it. So there you go. Turmeric. If you want a turmeric video, let me know and I'll do a video specific to turmeric, but that's not this video because I've already probably went over my time to talk. Okay. So if you wanted to know, do I approve of MSM for hair growth? I absolutely do. Yes, I do. There are already vitamin supplements or hair growth supplements with it in there. You want to check the label and see how many grams it has. And of course, whether you're deciding to ingest it, no more than 4 grams daily, or whether you're choosing to apply it topically, just know that it has a crap ton of benefits for your hair growth and for your hair strength and texture. Okay? That's the tea for me. Like I said, Hairscripts.com if you need any info as far as joining this community, this movement. There's some stuff coming up for y'all, so please, my girls that did already sign up, hold tight because I did not forget about you. It's coming. Okay, it's coming in 2022. Don't say I didn't tell you. Bye.